Padmé's ship touches down on Mustafar's scorched landing platform. The air tastes like ash and sulfur. She steps onto the volcanic world knowing something is terribly wrong, but she doesn't know how wrong. Not yet. Anakin emerges from the shadows of the facility. His eyes, they're different. Yellow. Burning. She freezes. This is the man she married. The father of her unborn children. But those eyes belong to something else. Anakin, she whispers. What have you done? He tells her everything. The Jedi betrayed the Republic. Chancellor Palpatine, now Emperor, saved them all. The Jedi tried to kill him. He had no choice. He did this for her. For their family. For peace. She wants to scream. She wants to run. But she doesn't. Because deep down, Padmé has always known the Jedi were flawed. She's seen their arrogance in the Senate. Their refusal to compromise. Their cold detachment while the galaxy burned. And Anakin, her Anakin, he's still in there. She can feel it. Come with me, he begs, extending his hand. We can rule together. Make things the way we want them to be. Obi-Wan emerges from her ship. Anakin's face twists with rage and betrayal. You brought him here to kill me. No. Padmé steps between them, her heart tearing in two. But the damage is done. Anakin's fury erupts. Lightning crackles in his fingertips. The duel begins, master against apprentice, brother against brother. Padmé watches in horror as the two men she loves most destroy each other. When it's over, Anakin lies burning on the black sand, his body ruined. Obi-Wan is gone, believing he's ended the threat. But Padmé remains. And she makes a choice that will doom the galaxy. She contacts the Emperor. Save him, and I'll give you anything. The Emperor's shuttle arrives within the hour. Palpatine steps onto the charred ground of Mustafar, his yellow eyes gleaming with triumph. This is even better than he planned. My dear Senator, he says softly, looking at Anakin's broken body. You wish to save him? Please, Padmé begs. Tears stream down her face. I'll do anything. Anything. Palpatine savors the word. Very well. I can save your husband. My knowledge of the dark side is extensive. But such power requires sacrifice. Your sacrifice. She doesn't hesitate. Name it. Your voice in the Senate. Your moral authority. Your light. He circles her like a predator. You will stand beside us. Publicly. You will tell the galaxy that the Jedi betrayed the Republic. That the Empire is the only path to peace. And you will mean it. Padmé's stomach turns. Everything she's fought for. Everything she believes. He's asking her to destroy it all. But Anakin is dying. She can hear his shallow, tortured breathing. The man she loves is slipping away. Save him, she whispers. I accept. Palpatine smiles. Then we have an accord. Medical droids swarm Anakin's body. Padmé watches as they load him into a surgical capsule. The Emperor's ship lifts off, carrying them toward Coruscant. Toward the Imperial Palace. Toward a future she can't imagine. During the flight, Palpatine speaks to her softly, almost kindly. He explains how the Jedi manipulated the Republic for centuries. How they stole Force-sensitive children from their families. How they refused to help end slavery because it didn't serve their political interests. And horrifyingly, some of it makes sense. By the time they reach Coruscant, Padmé Amidala is no longer sure who the villains really are. The surgery begins. And with it, her fall. The surgery takes days. Padmé stays in the observation room the entire time, watching through transparisteel as her husband is rebuilt. Flesh replaced by machinery. Man transformed into weapon. She should feel horror. Instead, she feels nothing. The grief has hollowed her out, made her empty. And in that emptiness, something else grows. Palpatine visits her often. He brings her food, speaks to her gently, plants seeds. The Jedi preach attachment is forbidden, he says. But what is life without love? Without passion? They are. Corpses pretending to be monks. You understand what truly matters. When Vader finally rises from the table, encased in black armor, breathing through a mechanical respirator, Padmé doesn't flinch. She steps forward. Anakin? Padmé. His voice is distorted, mechanical, but it's him. You stayed. Always. Palpatine watches them with satisfaction. My apprentice. You have been reborn. But you are incomplete. You need balance. An equal. He turns to Padmé. You carry his children. The future of the Sith bloodline. But you could be so much more than a vessel. I offer you power, Senator. The ability to protect your family, to shape the galaxy, to ensure your children never suffer as you have suffered. Padmé looks at Vader, at the monster she saved, at the man she still loves. Teach me, she says. The training begins immediately. Palpatine is a patient teacher. He shows her how to channel her grief into strength, her fear into power, her love into fury. The dark side flows through her, intoxicating and terrible. She tells herself it's temporary, a means to an end. She'll use this power to protect her children, to keep Anakin from being consumed entirely. But the dark side is a liar, and Padmé Amidala is already lost. The twins are born in secret, deep within the Imperial Palace. No medical droids, no witnesses, only Palpatine, Vader, and the woman who was once Padmé Amidala. She screams as the babies come. But when she holds them, Luke, then Leia, something inside her shifts. For just a moment, she remembers who she was. A senator, a believer in democracy, a woman of light. Then Vader takes Luke in his gloved hands. Our son. And the moment passes. Palpatine names her formally that night, Darth Sidera, Lady of Suffering. Her Sith name is a reminder of the pain she endured and the pain she will inflict. The children grow up in darkness. Literally. The Imperial Palace is a place of shadows and whispers. Luke and Leia are trained from infancy. Meditation, focus, control. By the time they can walk, they can move objects with their minds. By the time they can talk, they understand fear. Vader is a distant father, terrifying, demanding. He expects perfection. Sidera is something worse. She is gentle with her cruelty. She teaches them that love and power are the same thing, that weakness is death, that mercy is a luxury the galaxy cannot afford. We are bringing order to chaos, she tells them every night. We are saving the galaxy from itself. Luke is quiet, obedient. He internalizes everything. Leia is fire. She questions, pushes boundaries. Both are extraordinarily powerful. Obi-Wan and Yoda sense the disturbance. Two Skywalker children, drowning in darkness. But they are hidden behind Palpatine's power. Unreachable. The Jedi survivors can only watch in horror as the Empire spreads, and the Skywalker family rules it together. There is no rebellion. Not yet. Only an iron fist wrapped in family loyalty. And the galaxy bleeds. Obi-Wan Kenobi lives in hiding on Tatooine. But there is no Luke to watch over. No hope to protect. Only sand and guilt and the ghosts of his failures. He meditates daily, reaching out through the Force. And every time he feels them. Father. The woman who was Padmé. And something worse, two bright, terrible stars. The children. Growing stronger. Growing darker. Yoda contacts him through secure holocron. The ancient Jedi Master looks older than ever. Weary. Felt them, have you? Every day, Obi-Wan says quietly. They're training them, Master. The children are powerful. The prophecy, misread we may have been. Yoda's ears droop. Balance to the Force, Anakin was meant to bring. But what if balance means darkness and light in equal measure? What if the Skywalkers are the balance? It's a horrifying thought. The galaxy is balanced between tyranny and resistance. Between the Sith family and the scattered Jedi. Between hope and despair. Across the galaxy, Vader and Sidera are unstoppable. They lead the Imperial military personally. Vader crushes rebellious systems with ruthless efficiency. Sidera does something worse, she convinces them. She still has her senator's voice. Her charisma. Her ability to make darkness sound like salvation. Planets that resist Vader's fist bend the knee to Sidera's words. The Rebel Alliance forms, but it's fractured. Weak. Bail Organa is dead, executed for conspiracy. Mon Mothma operates in the shadows. Saw Gerrera's partisans wage a losing war. And looming over everything, the twins. Luke and Leia. 12 years old now. Deadly. Vader brings Luke on missions. Teaches him to show no mercy. Sidera trains Leia in manipulation and political control. Obi-Wan watches from Tatooine. Helpless. Broken. We need a miracle, he tells Yoda. Miracles the Force provides, Yoda replies. But patience we must have. The question is, will the galaxy survive long enough? Luke Skywalker stands on the bridge of a star destroyer, watching a city burn. His father's order. his responsibility to enforce. He feels nothing. That's what he's been taught. Emotion is weakness. Attachment is death. There is only the mission. Only the Empire. Only order carved from chaos. But sometimes, late at night, he dreams of something else. Open skies. Twin suns. A life he's never lived. Leia is different. She thrives in the darkness. At 16, she's already a political force, her mother's daughter in every way. She negotiates treaties that are really threats. She smiles while planets surrender. She believes, truly believes, that the Empire is the galaxy's only hope. But she's started to notice things. The way prisoners look at her, not with respect, but with terror. The way her mother's eyes are empty when she thinks no one is watching. The way her father's breathing sounds like a constant death rattle. They're on Coruscant when it happens. A rebel attack. Small. Desperate. Suicidal. Luke and Leia respond together, their training flawless. They cut through the rebels like blades through silk. But one survives long enough to speak. "You're children," the rebel gasps, staring at them. "You're just kids. Don't you see what they've made you?" Leia kills him without hesitation. But his words echo. That night, Luke asks his father a question he's never dared voice. "Why do they hate us? We bring order. We bring peace. Why do they resist?" Vader is silent for a long moment. "Because they are fools who cling to chaos. Never question our purpose, my son." But Luke is questioning. And once you start questioning the dark side, the light begins to seep in. Across the palace, Leia stares at her reflection and doesn't recognize the person staring back. Luke breaks into the Jedi Temple ruins alone. It's forbidden. Dangerous. If his father discovers this, there will be consequences. But he has to know. The temple is a tomb. Burned. Desecrated. But in the deepest archives, hidden beneath rubble, he finds something. A holocron. Ancient. Preserved by the Force itself. The image of a Jedi Master appears, Qui-Gon Jinn. He speaks of the Force as balance. As harmony. As selflessness and compassion. Everything Luke has been taught is a lie. He watches every recording. Learns the truth about the Jedi. About the Clone Wars. About his father's fall. About his mother's choice. And he realizes, they're the villains. The revelation breaks him. Everything he is. Everything he's done. All the blood on his hands. He wants to scream. To rage. But instead, he goes silent. And begins to plan. Leia notices immediately. "You're different." "I'm fine." "You're lying." She steps closer, her eyes, so like their mother's, narrowing. "What did you do, Luke?" He almost tells her. Almost. But he sees the conviction in her eyes. She believes. She wants to believe. The Empire is her identity. Her purpose. Her family. If he tells her the truth, she'll turn him in. "Nothing," he says. "Just tired." She doesn't believe him. And she tells their mother. Sidera confronts Luke in his chambers. For the first time in years, he sees something in her face, fear. "Your sister says you're conflicted. Tell me the truth." Luke looks at the woman who was once a champion of democracy, who fought for freedom, who stood before the Senate and spoke for the voiceless. "Who are you, mother?" he asks quietly. "Before all this, who are you really?" And Padmé Amidala, buried beneath Darth Sidera, begins to remember. It ends where it began. Mustafar. Palpatine summons them all. He knows. Of course he knows. Luke's defiance. Sidara's hesitation. Leia's confusion. Vader's silence. The family is fracturing. And fractures must be cauterized. "Your son is weak," the Emperor tells Vader. "He has been corrupted by Jedi lies. Kill him. Prove your loyalty." Luke stands in the center of the throne room, lightsaber ignited. But he doesn't attack. "I won't fight you, Father. Any of you. I know what we've done. What we've become. But it's not too late. We can still choose differently." Leia ignites her own blade. "You're a traitor. I'm your brother." Vader steps forward, saber raised. The moment stretches. Palpatine watches with hungry eyes. Then Sidera speaks. "Wait." Everyone turns. She steps toward Luke, and for the first time in 17 years, Padmé Amidala's voice emerges. I remember who I was. What I believed. I told myself I was protecting you. Saving the galaxy. But I was just afraid." "Sentiment," Palpatine hisses. "Destroy him. Now." Vader looks at his son. His daughter. his wife, the family he slaughtered the Jedi to protect. And he makes a choice. He turns and drives his lightsaber through Palpatine's chest. The Emperor's scream shakes the fortress. Lightning erupts, consuming Vader. But Sidera is there, joining her power to his. Together they hold. Together they endure. Luke and Leia can only watch as their parents, monsters and heroes, both destroy the darkness that made them. When the lightning finally stops, Vader collapses. His armor is failing. Sidera kneels beside him, tears streaming. "You were right," Anakin whispers, his voice finally his own. "Love didn't have to destroy us." The galaxy holds its breath. The Skywalkers have chosen redemption. Now they must live with the consequences.